Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, John Nikolic found guilty, sentence to come. Employees fear victimization over FNPF payment. And Peters praises China's influence.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
High Court Judge Justice Daniel Gounder delivered his verdict in the case of an Australian national this afternoon, finding him guilty of all charges. He said the accused John Nikolic had knowledge of the presence of illicit drugs, arms and ammunition on his yacht. Catherine Krishna has more.
Judge Justice Daniel Gounder said John Nikolic was in control of the vessel where the illicit drugs, arms and ammunition and undeclared currency were found. He said Nikolic also tried to hold the search effort by overdosing on drugs when the search was being conducted. John was charged after drugs, cash, arms and ammunition were found on board his yacht, the Shenanigans, in Nandi last year. He is charged with 2 counts each of importing an illicit drug, with 2 alternative counts of possessing an illicit drug. Nikolic is also charged with a count each of possessing firearms and ammunition without holding a license. The Australian national was arrested after authorities seized 13 bricks of cocaine weighing 15 kilograms as well as ecstasy tablets with an estimated value of $30 million from his yacht. Defense has sought time until Monday to file mitigation. The case will be recalled next Friday for sentence hearing. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Catherine Krishna is live with us from outside the courthouse. Catherine, what else transpired in court today and is expected in the lead up to the sentencing?
Well, Jackie, earlier today the 3 assessors also found John Nikolic guilty of all the charges. What's interesting to note now is that the hearing for the yacht and almost $30,000 in undeclared currency will be heard before the Suva High Court tomorrow. Assistant DPP Libani also told the court that they will be meeting with the government chemists to determine the safest way to dispose the illicit drugs which were found on board the yacht Shenanigans. As for the arms and ammunition which were found, Assistant DPP Libani today told the court that according to the law, it will be handed over to the Fiji military forces. Jackie.
As the superannuation funder is making efforts to recover unpaid contributions, there are revelations that some employees do not check their accounts due to the fear of victimization. The Fiji National Provident Fund reveals they do not have the required resources to inspect all the employers. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Fiji National Provident Fund is reminding employees to be proactive and check their accounts.
Even if they know, they feel that the employer might terminate them, but the law is quite clear on victimization. We can take the employer to court. But it is very important for the employee to check his accounts for regular contributions.
The fund has also transformed to ensure more compliance.
Employees who are employed in the formal sector, we urge them to use our digital platform, the My Superfund and the other apps that are available to check their accounts regularly.
Chief Executive Chachi Koroi says drastic measures are being taken to recover unpaid contributions.
That we are taking a lot more actions now in terms of compliance. Those that owe debt, directors are being DPO. That means they can't leave the country unless they pay.
The total outstanding contribution owed to FNPF stands at $9.5 million. The fund has recovered $1.7 million through legal proceedings, while close to 100 cases are still before the court. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
New Zealand's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs Winston Peters has welcomed China's influence in the Pacific. Speaking at a press conference, Peters says these influences are positive as long as it benefits the people. Anna Ravola reports.
There has been a lot of Chinese influence in the region, including Fiji. This is deemed good according to our New Zealand counterpart, as it is in the interest of the people.
We welcome China's influence when it's in the interest of the local people, when it's in the interest of security and economic development in the Pacific. We welcome the influence of any country that is seeking to ensure there's a positive outcome in favour of the local people first.
Various countries are able to lend a hand to the Pacific, and Peters says they have a job to do.
We know that there are countries that can help immensely in the Pacific. Our job is to provide them with the leadership and the direction and the confidence that in joining in partnership with us, we'll get the job done in a lasting way, in many cases for enduring results that will go 50 years and beyond if we follow that pathway.
Peters held various bilateral meetings with senior government officials in Fiji and will be doing the same in Tarawa and Kiribati. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Sodelpa MPs are again under the spotlight for allegedly pushing Suvavo landowners to submit petitions to the Suva City Council showing their grievances on the government's land swap deal with the Indian government. Earlier this week, more than 200 villagers from Suvavo Lami presented their petition, and this action was allegedly influenced by Ro Filipe Tuisawa and Nico Nawaikula from Sodelpa. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Revelations of the politicization of the Suva Botanical Garden issue came to light when Suvavo landowners thanked two Sodelpa MPs in persuading them to draw up petitions.
They were the ones who came to the village and told us, this is what you should do if you don't like what's going to happen at Tessinga. That has materialized because of what they have advised us.
Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama had earlier stated that the land belongs to the state and the construction of the Indian embassy will not affect the garden. However, Nawaikula and Ro Filipe are believed to have met with the villagers on the issue of petition.
It's not about politicizing. It's going down to the grassroots level to explain to them in their language what their rights are and how they can assert those rights.
Nawaikula is urging the government to try and consider the concerns of the villagers. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Still to come, more vets brought in for brucellosis outbreak. And water woes end for Nakava village. Details after the break.
Nambula FM, nambandua na sere.
Hoya uvasit sai sa ilambasa, ya ndo talita ina warong nambula FM nambandua na sere.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka. Talita kina na warong nambula FM, nambandua na sere.
Wana tunga nambula FM, nambandua na sere nambuan.
Na vengo fani na tao ne ngo singa toka. Kita ndo talita ka nambula FM, nambandua na sere.
Bula FM, nambandua na sere.
In an effort to know how far tuberculosis and brucellosis have spread, the Agriculture Ministry will carry out tests on farms. Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says in the past officers concentrated more on the well-known affected areas. However, this year will be a bit different. Savara Tambor reports for that reason, the ministry has engaged 4 full-time vet officers, with a 5th expected soon.
The ministry is strengthening its systems and processes for the effective operation of the brucellosis and tuberculosis eradication campaign.
Basically, the testing is a way of detecting and removing the animals, and as we go along, we believe that the number of TB cases will go down.
A team of vets is currently carrying out testing and surveillance programs on farms.
We have them on board. We have signed the appointment letters. We will then send them out to farms, new farms, to undertake the testing. So quite excited that by end of this year we will be testing a lot of farms in Banwalebu and Bitilebu.
Meanwhile, farmers are reminded that for any movement of livestock, they must inform the Ministry of Agriculture to reduce the chances of spreading brucellosis and TB while infected areas. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
As part of his bilateral meetings along the margins of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva, Prime Minister Chosai Vorenge Bainimarama yesterday met Georgia's Foreign Minister. Bainimarama and Zokoliani discussed current and potential areas of mutual benefit such as medical studies, collaboration in sports, that is rugby, and reciprocal support in international forums. Bainimarama used the opportunity to share Fiji's priorities and advocacy message as a member of the Human Rights Council. He adds Fiji has pledged to champion the global recognition of the universal right to a safe and healthy environment, and that he is counting on the support of the international community to support Fiji's efforts. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister also met the first Vice President of Costa Rica. Bainimarama took this opportunity to congratulate and convey his well wishes to Costa Rica, which has offered to host the climate pre-COP25 in October, as well as its collaborative efforts with Chile in taking a lead role towards addressing the drastic effects of climate change. Fiji and Costa Rica share a distinct connection when it comes to human rights and climate change. Fiji will use its platform on the Human Rights Council to advocate for small island development state issues and support council initiatives on climate change, environment and internally displaced persons. While on the other hand, Costa Rica launched the Geneva Pledge in 2015 with a view to addressing the human rights implications of climate change. Nakava villagers in the interior of Sanganga are now enjoying a reliable flow of clean pipe water from within the comfort of their homes. It's part of government's efforts through the Water Authority of Fiji to prioritise access to clean and safe water. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
For decades, villagers of Nakava have been relying on the river for bathing, washing, cooking and drinking.
Sometimes there is no water and villagers do suffer. And now I want to thank government for providing everything to us.
In December last year, the Water Authority of Fiji started the construction and installation of a dam and a 45,460-litre storage reservoir to supply water to the 30 households in the village. Works were completed last week.
I am told that this water project will benefit a total of 30 households and a total of 180 Fijians. Every Fijian, wherever they live, deserves to live with security and happiness that only clean water can provide.
The new facilities will now mean women and children will no longer have to go to the river to collect water for household use.
No family should wake up wondering where the water they need will come from. No family should be forced to make a long, arduous journey in times of drought. And every family should know that clean water is nearby, and whenever they need it, and in whatever quantities they require.
The Nakava Rural Water Supply Project cost government a little over $80,000. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
Fiji has become the 76th country to join the American States Partnership Program following a signing with the Nevada National Guard in Suva today. RFMF Commander Rear Admiral William Poto says some areas of focus will include peacekeeping operations, disaster preparedness and security.
This partnership, in my view, is a wonderful tool for us to fulfill the vow that we make, that we will look after our people better.
The partnership with the Republic of Fiji and the Nevada National Guard is designed to enhance interoperability, create training opportunities, and sustain capabilities, and strengthen the Fiji-US relationship.
And turning to world news, in a major escalation in tension between the two countries, Pakistan says it has shot down 2 Indian military jets and captured a pilot. The increased aggression is part of an ongoing row brought on by the fact both nations claim parts of the region Kashmir. Coming up in sports, Jamie will have the very latest on the Las Vegas tournament, but first, Kelly is here now with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Fiji on the international stage in Lebanon. And in growing Fiji, no contractor finalized yet for renovation at FNPF Place. Stay with us.
Voila, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Osuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino.
I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Surrey. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, the development of South Pacific capital markets and Fiji becoming the first developing country to issue a sovereign green bond were key topics at the 14th Annual World Exchange Congress underway in Lebanon. Reserve Bank Governor Arif Ali spoke about South Pacific capital markets and held talks with Lebanon's central bank governor. The two shared experiences and discussed various ways central banks can promote greater outreach to micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, especially those in tourism and the agricultural sectors, as well as investments in sustainable energy and innovation across the economy. Meanwhile, the South Pacific Stock Exchange has been officially confirmed as the host sponsor of the 15th Annual World Exchange Congress to be held in Fiji in 2020. This was announced by Terrapin Holdings Limited at the 4th edition of the event in Beirut, Lebanon. SPSC Chair Dr. Nur Bano Ali says hosting this high-profile event shows that Fiji is well placed in the route to greater international connectivity. She says the event will further elevate Fiji's position and also enhance our prominence in the greater financial market. At the Beirut Congress, the Fijian delegation also shared the development of South Pacific capital markets and the route adopted by Fiji to becoming the first ever developing country to issue a sovereign green bond. The 2020 World Exchange Congress will be held in Nadi. We now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the trading market.
In the foreign exchange market, the US dollar held firm above a 3-week low today as investors remained cautious. Uncertainty over the progress in US-China trade talks remains a concern. The dollar also found support on a flare-up in tensions between Pakistan and India, sending investors out of riskier markets into safer assets. Meanwhile, sterling rallied on bets that the chance of a no-deal Brexit was less likely and that Britain's departure from the EU would be delayed. And in other news, Australia's business investment was high last quarter, while companies boosted their spending plans for the coming year. Perhaps a positive sign for the Australian economy. And that's all the latest from HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Looking at the exchange rates as they were set this morning, the Fijian dollar rose against the currencies of our two major trade partners today, gaining ground on the Aussie and the Kiwi. However, our dollar slid against the other currencies we cover as the markets reacted to current world events. Taking a look at commodities prices, oil was on the rise at $57 per barrel, gold was down $10 at $1,318 an ounce, and silver closed down at $15.72 per ounce. In growing Fiji, the Fiji National Provident Fund has yet to finalize a contractor to renovate the famous food court at FNPF Place on Victoria Parade in Suva. FNPF Place, commonly known as Dolphins, is owned by the Fiji National Provident Fund. As part of the renovation, a modern look will be given to the food court area and the building's main entrance. Chief Executive Chao Chikoroi says they're still finalizing the tender.
We're still processing the tender applicants at this stage.
And that's a wrap from the business desk for tonight. Jamie joins you now with all the very latest in sports.
Thanks and good evening in sports tonight. High chance of Isoa Tambu making debut this weekend. And OCL battle heats up. This and more after the break.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
New kid on the block, Isoa Tambu has impressed Fiji Airways men's sevens coach Gareth Baber and is in the running for a spot in his final 13-member squad for the Las Vegas tournament this weekend. While Tambu is ready for the debut, his brother Sebuloni Modenedangi is still in doubt, facing a suspension that requires him to miss 3 more matches, should hamper his chances of being included in the squad. However, Baber has not ruled anything out yet. Kuroi Tandulala reports.
Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Baber has given his thumbs up for debutant Isoa Tambu.
And if you look at the likes of his running meters in training and the games we play, the numbers of tackles he puts in, the numbers of carries he makes, all of a sudden, if you piece that together with what a Kali would do, or a Darren Alangi would do, or a Paula would do, you start getting somewhere towards the levels of activity that you need.
Baber could play a risky game if he names Sebuloni Modenedangi in the squad. If Modenedangi is named in the final 12, it will mean Fiji will need to play its pool matches with 11 players, an option that Baber is still looking at.
I'll certainly look at Sebu. I haven't made up my mind on that yet. And obviously, you know, seeing our trainings and how we're going in our trainings is always an issue. But yeah, at the moment, you know, everybody is putting their hands up for that, and I'll make my decisions based on what I feel the strategy we're going to need going into 6 tough games on the weekend.
There is a high chance Baber could drop Modenedangi, but it will be only known tomorrow. Kuroi Tandulala, FBC Sports.
Former France and Manchester United player Mikael Silvestre says he's enjoying his visit to Fiji so far. The 2-time FIFA World Cup representative took time out today to visit schools in the Western Division, sharing his experiences playing top-level football for more than 10 years. Felipe Naikaso has more.
It's very cold today.
Have fun in anything you do. That was the 41-year-old Mikael Silvestre's message while speaking to students of Lautoka Central College.
If you don't have fun in anything you do, you won't do it. You won't give your best. So try to find the element of fun in every activities at school, sport activities, other activities that you do.
Silvestre, who has played with the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, Thierry Henry and Zinedine Zidane, reminded the students that motivating themselves is important in achieving anything in life.
But the superstars' name I gave you before, they worked so hard every day. It's not just like that. It's every day. Be the best at what you do.
For the students, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It feels great. It's a good motivation for the school, and so I'm also a soccer player, so it's a good motivation for us too.
It's the first time to see him, and we were amazed to see him.
It's memorable.
It was a pleasure knowing about his life, and mostly knowing about all his challenges that he's facing in his life.
The 5-times English Premier League winner will be the chief guest at the Fiji FA Awards night on Saturday at Sofitel in Nadi. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
Fiji's under-12 baseball team has received a wild-card entry into the Baseball World Championship in Taiwan this year. Baseball Secretary and Development Officer Inoke Nyumbalavu says they are extremely grateful that Fiji will be able to compete in a major competition for the first time. Kuroi Tandulala reports.
Nyumbalavu says they will be sending 15 players to the championship along with 4 officials.
We thank those that helped in the bid for Fiji to get this opportunity. And our young baseball enthusiasts are very fortunate to get this opportunity to go and compete with some of the highly talented baseball nation in Taiwan.
Fiji Baseball President Takao Mochida says this experience will allow players to return and raise the standard of competition in the country.
We are really excited to send our boys there and have an experience of high-level baseball game at the high-level international stage. So hopefully kids can be, participating players can be also proud of what they achieved as well, and get back, experience what they learn, what they see, what they hear.
Fiji Baseball starts its open trials next month before selecting the final 15 players in June. Kuroi Tandulala, FBC Sports.
The growing number of local rugby teams participating in an ever-expanding rugby industry in Fiji has concurrently increased the demand for qualified coaches and officials. And to fill the void, the Nandi Rugby Union is giving their coaches an opportunity to get the necessary qualifications to meet the demand in their union. Nandi Rugby Chair Sekobe Tuilakemba says 3 of their 39 coaches are now ready to take on coaching positions, while others continue to progress with their training.
And the good news we got last week was that 3 of our level 2 had now been selected for level 3, which will start next month. So that's a great achievement for our coaches. So we now don't have any more shortage of coaches around Nandi. Qualified coaches will really develop the players coming through the age group.
Bar football coach Ronil Kumar has rated goalkeeper Misiwani Nairumbe the #1 stopper for the district. Nairumbe starred in Bar's 1-1 draw with Erako on Tuesday night in the OFC Champions League in Vanuatu, the result keeping Bar's chances alive of making it to the quarter-final. However, the men in black need to beat QEFC by at least 3 clear goals and then wait for the outcome of the Erako versus Team Wellington match. Kumar's men will need Team Wellington to win that match to stand a chance of making the last 8. Meanwhile, Auckland City FC cruised to a 15-0 win over Tupapa Marearenga to all but book themselves a place in the last 8 of the OFC Champions League. The margin of victory is 3rd in the all-time list of biggest wins in Oceania's club showpiece event. Tupapa came out strong defensively against Auckland City in the first half, limiting the damage to 3 goals against them. However, the floodgates opened in the second spell with the former Oceania champions netting 12 more. Under fire goalkeeper Kepa was nowhere to be seen today in Chelsea's 2-0 Premier League win over Tottenham. That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather and in new media. Take a look at the foldable Huawei Mate X smartphone. That's coming up.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
In new media, let's take a look at some of the features on Huawei Mate X foldable phone with 5G. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's been a fantastic day, very warm with slight sunshine. All that sunshine was covered by rain in few areas of the nation. It's the slope down to the weekend too. How exciting. An update on Tropical Cyclone Pola. It's well away from Fiji and heading southeast. Taking a look in the west, quite mild. The sun was slightly glowy. Rain is taking its turn tonight. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, it was a bit gloomy with light showers today, but afterwards it went fine. The showers will roll again in the evening. And up north, another amazing day was witnessed here, but there's more showers strolling in here tonight as well. At sea, easterly winds at 25 to 30 knots, very rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 2:59 a.m. with low tide at 8:52 a.m. Sunrise at 6:05. For tomorrow, it's Friday and well, the weather looks fine. How amazing is that? Tomorrow's temps, we can expect them to be much the same as today. And looking further on to Saturday, another lovely day is approaching. Well, it sure looks like a great weekend. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, should there be harsher penalties for employers who do not make FNPF contributions?
So far, we have been very lenient with these employers. There should be harsher penalty, so that the workers get their fair share of the of the cake.
Yes, because the workers, they got their rights to claim all the FNPF deduction made by the companies.
Yes, I think employees have their rights, workers have their rights.
Oh yes, I think there should be harsher penalties for them.
Those who are not contributing fairly should be heavily penalized.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, John Nikolic found guilty, sentence to come. Employees fear victimization over FNPF payment, and Peters praises China's influence. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, do you think there should be more suicide prevention services available in the country? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. An abandoned ship in Overlaus sent in by Shan Maharaj from Lathala Beach. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Bula, nevang gomal kay leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Oya ubasit sai lambasa, ya untuk talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Gua do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere. Warong tunga ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere nawaluan.
Nevang go fani na tao no go singa toka, kita untuk talita ka ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.